I'm aware that you're not really into Bollywood movies, but I would like to hear your thoughts on the Kashmir files and the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits. So I haven't seen the movie yet. I have had no time. I would certainly like to watch the movie. I've heard it's a very good movie. The reviews are great. The attendance is great. It's doing very well. So clearly, it's being very well received. Clearly, it's a movie that has struck an emotional chord with the people of India. It is clearly a factual movie. It does seem to represent the actual events as they happened. So I would certainly like to see the movie. So I cannot give you a review of the movie because I haven't seen it yet. Now, what about the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits? Well, it's not something that happened only in 89 1991. It's something that's happened in waves, and it is a continuation of a longer process. The process which culminated with the genocide of the Kashmiri Pandits and their expulsion from their homeland, that process began about 1300 years ago with the genocide in Iran. So there was the Arabic conquest of Iran. The Iranian people, the Persian people, were Zoroastrians mainly at the time, right? Their culture and civilization was closely related to our civilization. The Persians are a daughter civilization of India. So they were conquered by the Arabs, and the first uh, cultural etc. genocide happened there. So they were very quickly, within a few decades, maybe 2 3 decades, they were completely converted to the religion of the Arabs. And whoever resisted, I mean, lots of killings happened, lots of persecution happened. Many of these Iranians, the Persians, they escaped, and the only place they could escape to was India, and they still live in India today. India was magnanimous enough to offer them refuge in our country. So our kings, local kings, I think it was a local king in Gujarat who offered the Persians, the Parsis, a refuge and a place to live in Gujarat. So that's why the Parsis still exist in India. So the first instance of this process happened in Persia. The whole of Persia, within just 2 3 decades, was completely transformed. The culture was wiped out. Then, after some time, after a few centuries, about 1,000 years before today, the Indian province, the Indian region of Gandhar, underwent the same process. Terrifying atrocities, terrifying genocide. It happened there in Gandhar. We know that Gandhar was a Hindu and Buddhist place. Hinduism, Buddhism, same thing. I've said that 100 times. Hinduism and Buddhism are the same thing, different flavors of the same culture and traditions. The whole of Central Asia was Hindu and Buddhist. You will see ruins of Hindu temples and Buddhist stupas all across Central Asia. What happened there? The same genocide happened there. The same thing happened in Gandhar, which we now call Afghanistan. There is no Indian culture left there. It was India. I mean, we know it from the Mahabharata times, right? Gandhar. Uh, so what happened in Kashmir in 89, 90, 91? It happened first in Iran, then it happened in Central Asia, then it happened in our own province of Gandhar. And then over the centuries, there were these the Turkic sultans who ruled over Kashmir. uh, Sikandar Butshikan or something, some barbarian by that name, a foreigner, a Turk, who committed untold atrocities. Lots of people were massacred. It was a complete full-scale genocide. And then in the late 1980s and 90s, that's when the whatever was left was done. So there are very few Kashmiri Hindus, Kashmiri Pandits living in Kashmir today. So that's the story. And this movie, obviously, it deals with only what happened. I haven't seen it. I am assuming it deals with what happened in 89 1991, when the last expulsion and genocide, last installment of the genocide was carried out. So I would certainly like to watch the movie, and I would like to congratulate Mr. Vivek Agnihotri, Pallavi Joshi ji, etc., for making this movie, this very important movie. It's being very well received, and I will certainly want to watch it maybe in the coming week if I can find the time. But I will certainly watch it. So that's what I can say as of today without having seen the movie. I know it's a very it's not an easy movie to watch. It's very painful. It's like shocking and all, but I think it's something that everybody needs to go through. So I will certainly do that.